What's up, guys, and welcome to today's show. Merry Christmas, and I hope you had a fantastic Boxing Day. The new year is approaching, and those Boxing Day fixtures were fantastic. I want to focus on two: Manchester United versus Villa, and Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. Now, first, I'm going to touch on Newcastle versus Nottingham Forest. That Newcastle are at home, they're at St James's Park, but they got absolutely battered by Nottingham Forest. Listen, the game is what the game is. Newcastle, they've not been in great form recently. A lot of things are to blame, injuries and so on and so forth, but everyone has got injuries. But they've not been in good form. And I think that Eddie Howe is probably on some slippery ice. Now, the pundits, the English sports pundits and media, they're not going to sort of paint this as, Eddie Howe being in trouble, that he could get sacked, which I don't advocate for. But, if you look at the Premier League table, I think that Manchester United are actually above Newcastle. Champions League groups, they both finished last, so they're out of Europe in their Champions League groups. And I think that, let's have a look. Yeah. Man United, 6th, 31 points. Newcastle, 8th, 29 points. Same amount of games. Now, listen, the Newcastle project, I don't know, where it's going to go, how it's going to get there, so on and so forth. I also want to give a big shout out to the Nottingham Forest striker, who was also played for Newcastle, so he came back to haunt Newcastle because he scored a hat-trick. Chris Wood came back to haunt Newcastle United, scoring a hat-trick, sinking them. But when you look at the table and the fact that, basically Newcastle are shitter than Manchester United, but the English sports media and pundits give Newcastle every excuse under the sun. Injuries, they're knackered, they're exhausted. Mate, no. And I want to get onto Ten Hag in a minute. Newcastle ain't going to finish in the top 4. And if they don't finish in the top 4, they probably are going to get rid of Eddie Howe and get someone, because Eddie Howe weren't their first choice. It was Emery, and get someone that they might consider an upgrade, like maybe a Conte or someone else who's out of work. So if I had to place a bet on who I think is going to go first, out of, say, the 3 managers in high-profile jobs that are skating on thin ice, Ten Hag, Poch, Eddie Howe, I think Eddie Howe's going to go first. Then probably Poch, and I think Ten Hag will be in situ for a long time based on what I saw yesterday. Now, I wasn't watching the game. I was with my family yesterday, my cousins and so on and so forth, and I was keeping an eye on the game on my phone. And I said to my cousin, when Aston Villa were 2-0 down, were 2-0 up, when Man United were 2-0 down, Villa were winning 2-0. I said Man United were going to win 3-2. He said, oh, no. So just watch, cuz. Watch, I got a feeling. Because when I looked at the stats, Man United was sort of, look at the attempts, and they looked like they played all right. And lo and behold, they come out the second half and they smash Villa a bitch. And I like Villa. I love Unai Emery. But I also think Ten Hag's a good manager. Right? Garnacho scores 2 goals. Højlund finally got his first goal. Have to feel so good for the lad. Only 20 years old. Ain't had a lot of service. He's not like he's missing chances. He's scoring loads of goals in the Champions League. He just ain't getting a service. He finally gets his first goal. Lovely left-footed volley into the post. Gets to the post, into the goal for the winner. Old Trafford goes ballistic. Nostalgia like the old days, even as a rival fan. right? Ten Hag, you see him punch in the air. Good game between two top managers, two good teams, right? And but when I'm listening to the Talk Sports and all that, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy, Jermaine Pennant, these pundits, instead of giving Manchester United the credit for coming back and showing character, and also analysing the game properly and say, yeah, they were losing the game, but they weren't getting, it wasn't terrible. They didn't perform terribly in the first half, and they came out in the second half and they just carried on what they were doing in the first half, but they were just more clinical. They were looking for every excuse under the sun to sort of dampen over it, saying, oh, well, Villa dominated them in the first half and it was a game of two halves and, you know, United showed their frailty. But they're above Newcastle. They're 6th place. They're still in for a shot to get in the top 4. They'll finish above Newcastle as well, Manchester United. And they're still putting a damper on it. Little slide digs towards Ten Hag, which the English sports media and pundits are desperate to get him sacked. And I find it pathetic punditing. Pathetic. You know, I know that the English sports media and pundits, if you ain't got an English passport, if you're foreign or racially different, they won't back you the same way as they back the English managers and players. That's just how it is. There's a bias. There's a bias that ain't right. It should be fair. Ten Hag's a better manager than Eddie Howe. And Eddie Howe's going to be sacked before Ten Hag. Because Ten Hag ain't going to get sacked. But he's a top manager. And I'm not even a Man United fan. I've always backed Ten Hag. 2 cup finals last season. 3rd in the Premier League. He overachieved. He won a trophy in his first season. He's got credit in the bank. His recruitment has been questionable, but he'll get it right. What team hasn't done questionable signings, right? Onana pulled off a fantastic save to keep Manchester United in it that no one's speaking about. Onana has been awful sometimes, but he's also kept United in a lot of games, which you have to give him credit for, and I'll give him credit for it, because I think Onana is a top keeper, right? So I'll give Ten Hag a lot of credit at Manchester United for yesterday. I'm so happy for the boy Højlund. Man United, I don't know if they're going to get in the top 4, but they'll be floating between 6th and 4th, trying to get in there for those top 4 places. But what a performance by Manchester United in the first and the second half. They played well in the first half, as Patrice Evra actually said that they played well the whole game. It's just that they weren't clinical in the first half, and the second half they carried on and they were more clinical. So congratulations to Manchester United and Ten Hag. If they can build up a little bit more consistency, they should be okay. Maybe getting knocked out of the European competitions might be a blessing in disguise for Manchester United. And they've got the new ownership structure. So Radcliffe coming in, his 25% has been purchased. Has been made official, so all the sport inside of that, he'll be in charge of that, and let's see what them and Ten Hag and the Glazers can do to take Manchester United forward, get them competing at the top again where they do belong. Let's have it right. Liverpool winning yesterday, Darwin Núñez again, fantastic player. Liverpool, you know, they're pretty much they're going under the radar, but they're winning games. Jota coming back from injury and getting a goal. I do want to put a special shout out to Endo. I want to make a video about this. Endo, fantastic player. Now, when everyone was going on that they were going to sign Lavia and they were going to sign Caicedo for ridiculous money, and that didn't happen. Now they've gone to Chelsea, and you see what they're doing there. You know, Chelsea are fighting for 10th place, mate. With Lavia's not played a game, Caicedo's not. He's not showing the quality he showed at Brighton. But massively overpriced. And Endo, fantastic player. He's played in World Cups. He's played at the top level in Germany. Captain club and country. Now he's come to Liverpool. Klopp, this is what he does. He gives you a little bit of adjusting time, like he did with Fabinho. And now you're seeing Endo is a mainstay in that Liverpool team, a fantastic defensive midfielder, a fantastic number 6. I'm very impressed with him against Arsenal, and I knew and I said that cheap as chips, 20 million euros, something like that, and I said that he was going to be a key figure for Liverpool. He's a typical Klopp player, hard-working, humble, good technical ability, all the stuff, fantastic. So they have replaced Fabinho. Again, the sports media and the English pundits won't say that because, again, they don't rate certain players if they've not got, you know, the reputation that they know of, or they're not from, you know, countries that they deem to be football quality. You know, Endo played in Germany, right? Plays for Japan, and a lot of the Oriental players and also a lot of the other players from other countries, when they come to England, they don't get the respect that they get in, say, the other leagues based on their quality, by the clubs, by the managers. They don't get the respect like they would in Germany or in Italy. They don't get it in this country. And Endo, no one's talking about how great a player that Endo has been. Probably for me, one of the signings of the seasons. When you see he's a mainstay now in that Liverpool team. He played the whole game last night. He played the whole game against Arsenal. He was a rock against Arsenal. Him and Declan Rice, for me, the best midfielders on the pitch. In that game, fantastic player. One of the signings of the season for me. But I'm gonna make a separate video on that. So tonight, Arsenal are playing. Quick preview on that game. Let's have a look who Arsenal are playing. Let's hope Arsenal can get back to the top of the league. Or is that? No, that's tomorrow. Arsenal are playing tomorrow. But we've got Everton, Man City tonight. I hope Everton can make them drop points. Brighton versus Tottenham, that'll be a competitive game. Brentford, Wolves, Chelsea versus Palace. These are all very competitive games. This is what I want. I want Chelsea to lose. Brentford and Wolves, probably favour Wolves to win. I want Everton to draw or beat City. And I want Brighton to smash Spurs. But how that's going to go, I don't know. Tomorrow, we've got Arsenal versus West Ham, 8:15 kickoff. And I'll do a preview of that game tomorrow. So this is going to end today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm here drinking my super malt. If you know, you know. So again, guys, all that good stuff. Smash the like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Peace.